Forest policeman Zheng Hongfeng encounters a group of drug traffickers who kill his partners and disappear into the jungle. Hongfeng sets out to track them down and learns that the bandits have loaded local poachers with drugs and, taking their families hostage, are traveling through the forest, hoping to get their cargo safely across the border. Hongfeng realizes that the criminals will kill everyone upon reaching their goal anyway, but the head of the poachers, Lao Wu, refuses to help him and risk the lives of his family members. Since some time, police action movies released on Chinese online platforms have turned into Russian roulette, as almost everyone in recent years have learned to draw beautiful, enticing posters, and the general crisis of the internet movie industry is growing. You never know in advance what kind of movie you'll get, a really worthy project or some lowbrow garbage that appeared on streaming only because those need to regularly replenish their assortment of novelties. Dark Forest in this regard initially got some head start. The authors of the film are not ashamed of it, which is said at least by the fact that simultaneously with the release online it was released in limited theaters, and a year earlier it was even brought to the film festival Listopad in the Belarusian Minsk. Dark Forest participated there in the youth film competition and won 2 prizes, with special diplomas were awarded Chi Han, who played the lead role, and the film itself with the wording for the relevance of the theme. Apparently, stories about drug trafficking, smuggling and poaching are also relevant for Belarus. Anyway, Dark Forest, despite the fact that the movie is obviously inexpensive, is staged and filmed for all it's worth. The plot develops without slack and is told mainly through action. The characters prefer not to talk, but to act, and this distinguishes the film from many of its colleagues, whose authors desperately stall for time with the help of empty dialogues. Here we get a variation on the theme of Die Hard. Hongfeng follows the smuggling squad relentlessly and occasionally makes pinpoint attacks, not forgetting, however, that he is not a lone vigilante, but a policeman, which means that he must follow the letter of the law even in such a situation. Dark Forest will surely remind fans of Asian action movies with a long history. The movies, which was filmed in Hong Kong in the first half of the 90s. In particular, B projects from Donnie Yen, which in those years were perceived as something on the verge of thrash, but now they look differently, with a fair share of nostalgia. Yes, those movies could not boast with big budgets and elaborate scripts, but in terms of action and fight scenes there were much less complaints. These are also minimal for Dark Forest, and here we should additionally take into account that it's one thing to make quality B-movies in an industry that has already rocked itself, and quite another in conditions when it is diving into an uncontrollable corkscrew, before it has had time to really form.